In the past couple of years, a supposedly lost PSA known as Hitogata has been gaining a large amount of attention by users on the internet, and especially on the Lost Media Wiki where they featured this on the hunt search flyer for the video. The Hitogata PSA mostly gained attention due to the fact that it was supposedly very creepy, and also because we don't know if the PSA is even real. However, there is another creepy Japanese PSA that most people who are into lost media aren't familiar with, and that PSA goes by the name Joruri. In this video, I'll be explaining the details behind the lost Joruri PSA, and share my thoughts about whether I think it will be found or not. So without further ado, let's begin the video. Before I continue this video, I should first mention an important piece of information that separates Joruri from Hitogata in terms of similarity, and that is that unlike Hitogata, the Joruri PSA has proof that it might have existed, instead of it being a commercial that people only recall in their memories alone. The PSA is warning people about catch sales, and in case you are curious as to what catch sales could be, they are a type of scam in which people are lured into a secluded location under the pretense of a sale or business deal and promptly extorted for money. Anyways, the PSA takes place in a dark city street in which a kabuki-like doll of the type used in Joruri theaters, hence the nickname of the PSA, beckons a passerby saying, "Here, here," to which the person who is a man approaches the doll before the sound of wood clapping can be heard. The doll's face suddenly switches to a frightening demonic appearance, and words that are either spoken or shown on screen are shown or heard, while the phrase, "Come on," is being said. The commercial ends with a line of text that roughly translates to, "Let's never keep up with catch sales." On a Japanese wiki page for Joruri, there are numerous documented sightings of the PSA that are featured, many from 2-channel threads, and most of them are pretty consistent when describing what happens in the commercial. Another documented sighting of the PSA can be found on a Japanese blog site known as Ameba, in which the blogger who mentioned the PSA said that he or she remembers that the PSA was made by AC Japan, which is a private non-profit organization that distributes Japanese public service announcements on behalf of various sponsors. And the blogger also remembers that the PSA ended with a line of text that read, "Let's be careful of unscrupulous business practices," which is completely different than the line of text that I mentioned earlier. But hey, not everyone is going to remember the commercial exactly the same. I mean, nobody's perfect, am I right? Anyways, earlier in this video, I said that there is proof that the Joruri PSA might have existed, and this is where I get to it. During the 1980s and 1990s, commercial yearbooks were published in Japan, which were known to contain screenshots and crew listings from various different Japanese commercials and PSAs. In the 1992 commercial yearbook, a PSA that goes by the name Karakuri Doll was featured, and the PSA was commissioned by authorities in the Aichi Prefecture, which is a very important piece of information because a good number of people believe that Joruri was created by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government. And assuming that the Karakuri Doll PSA is actually Joruri, then it's pretty much guaranteed that Joruri wasn't created by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, since Tokyo isn't within the Aichi Prefecture. And not only that, but in the commercial yearbook, it is shown that the production company of the Karakuri Doll PSA is a company known as Dentsu, with it also showing that its operational base is in Nagoya, which is a city that is located in the Aichi Prefecture. Also, I don't know if this next piece of information is true or not, since I don't know Japanese, but apparently, if you were to translate this text below the Karakuri Doll PSA screenshot seen here, you will find out that the text includes phrases such as face of pranya and bad business method. The no overlay you are seeing right here corresponds to the reported ending of the PSA, and many people believe the Karakuri Doll PSA to be the Joruri PSA, since both PSAs seem to have very similar descriptions about them. The commercial yearbook also features a crew list of people who worked on the Karakuri Doll PSA, and despite the PSA having a good amount of information out there, it currently remains lost as of making this video. However, there is a PSA out there that is similar to the Karakuri doll PSA that was listed by the Broadcast Library Center in Yokohama called The Tragedy of Hideyoshi-kun, and it is very similar to Karakuri doll due to it being about harmful business practices and sharing a good amount of crew members. The PSA is from 1993 and it also appears in one of the commercial yearbooks. And while it's not likely that the PSA is Joruri, it still is quite similar due to its message about harmful business practices. Recently, a PSA that is very similar to the Joruri and Karakuri doll PSA was found, and it would confirm that the Joruri PSA is one of two different PSAs that focus on harmful business practices.
誘い言葉が売り言葉。怖い話に変わります。電話やハガキによる呼び出しに注意しましょう。
The only exception to that newly found PSA was that it aired in Tokyo and not in the Aichi prefecture like Joruri did. Now you are probably asking, what made people think that Joruri was made by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government? Well, apparently the Tokyo Metropolitan Government aired a PSA in 1991 called Laughing Salesman, and it was also about harmful business practices, although the PSA doesn't focus on catch sales like Joruri did.
友達を紹介するだけで人儲けしようって誘われたことはありませんか？おいしい話には気をつけてくださいね。
In my opinion, I'm pretty confident that one day we might find Joruri, but not fully confident though. While we do have information on the Karakuri doll PSA, which some people think might be Joruri, it's not guaranteed that it's the exact PSA we are looking for, since people from other parts of Japan have reported seeing the Joruri PSA, and not just in the Aichi prefecture. Although anyone outside the Aichi prefecture could have easily mistaken other PSAs for Joruri, such as the Laughing Salesman PSA that I mentioned earlier. Fortunately, Joruri is a commercial, and I believe that commercials are the easiest lost media to find, or to be more specific, commercials that aired after the introduction of the VHS tape. Every year, more compilation videos of Japanese commercials get uploaded to YouTube, and it's only a matter of time until Joruri is found in a compilation video, whether the commercial is uploaded to YouTube as of now, or if it will be uploaded to YouTube in the future. Apparently, some users on Wiki recall seeing the commercial in a commercial compilation on a video sharing service called Nico Video as early as 2011, so there might be a chance that the commercial has already surfaced on the internet right now, and we just don't know it yet. Hopefully in the future, Joruri will gain mass attention in the lost media community like Hitogata has right now, so it will have a better chance at being found in the future. And before I end this video, I'll now show you a recreation of the Joruri PSA that someone made and uploaded to YouTube, so we can have a good idea of what we should look for when searching for it.
こちらへ。おいで。
誘い言葉が売り言葉。キャッチセールスに注意しましょう。